flag code, which I interpret differently, and I think other people do.
I'm sure you're right. I would encourage, there is, while many things that this committee has done have been engraved in stone, no pun intended, this decision clearly is not. If someone can provide us with an argument that changes our opinion, we meet quarterly.
How about this for an argument, that we fly the flag in several places in our community?
Already does fly.
It does fly.
Yeah.
I said, no, that we do fly in some places in our community.
Right. And this
And in our
committee is
state.
not trying to stop that.
But I'm just saying, so the average Joe out there is saying, well, they do respect that flag. Why isn't it flagging here? They don't get this whole thing here.
Well,
They don't really get that
true.
whole thing.
You might be right. That
Well, I
people
think
don't
I am right. The
understand.
average person doesn't get your
That's-
technicality.
right.
Yeah, but
But
that
that
works,
doesn't-
sir,
that's
that works
not-
both ways.
That's not,
That
that
works
doesn't,
both ways.
not an
There's people
argument
that
for
don't
us
get
to
the other
change
side
our
either.
mind. That's just a fact of life. People don't pay attention, they don't know. If we're wrong, show us we're wrong.
Well, like I just
I've
said,
been
that's
wrong
your
before.
interpretation. So in my eyes, you are wrong on that interpretation.
I think you made that clear.
Okay.
And, I certainly would be willing to, give me some reason to show that I'm wrong. Don't just tell me I'm wrong,
Sir,
I'll listen.
it was many data points, as I intimated before. It wasn't just the flag code. There's other, I guess we can banter back and forth about you're wrong, I'm wrong, you're wrong. Where are we going with this? The whole idea is that we took a look at that flag code. We feel it's in violation of the flag code, but we also have other concerns outside of the flag code that aren't technical, which I brought up earlier. This wasn't a single data point decision. Okay, we had to tear this thing out and take a look at it from many different angles and think about many other types of people. And that's the decision-making process that we went through, and it's painful. Who wants to sit up here and take this? Nobody on this committee wants to sit here and go through the abuse we've been going through. Not a single one of us.
You've gotten threats to your career.
So,
Chris,
yes, sir.
I think we're about to wrap this up.
Could I
And
make Bruce, could I make a comment?
Sure.
And before you wrap it up. I think it was January of 2013, you and I received a phone call from Mr. Torpy to show at a city commission meeting. Is that correct?
Sounds right.
And at that meeting, we were given a very short letter, 2 paragraphs, that asked us to fly the flag. At no time was any information given to us who Honor and Remember was, what the flag stood for, and where it should be flown. Our information was all dug out by members of this committee. And one of the facts that we find out is the fact that Mr. Lutz, George Lutz of Virginia, is the CEO of Honor and Remember, if that is his correct position. Now, I don't know who George Lutz is. Now, George Lutz could be sitting out there in the audience. And what George Lutz has done is created a flag. And I think this is one of the things that we've been talked about. Anybody can create a flag. Mr. Lutz has created a flag. At no time has Mr. Lutz told me how I'm to fly the flag, what it stands for necessarily, or why it should be flown.
I gave you that information at that meeting, sir.
However, when I read the flag code is very explicit, and it tells me when the flag is to be flown and how it's to be flown. But the point I'm trying to make is I don't know who George Lutz is, and until somebody can maybe prove to me that George Lutz has a national standing.
Mr. Werman, if I may, please, I mean no disrespect, but when we presented that flag, you were there and you were there. We presented one to the city and one to you guys to the Veterans Committee. Everyone got a flag and a letter, and I had the brochures, and I even had the protocol on how to fly the flag. If you did not receive that, I'm sorry, but it was given out. It was also given to you in your packets. It is readily available online. George Lutz has a phone that he answers all the time. You have any questions, you can call him. Yes, he is the CEO, but sir,
Mrs. Moore?
he also has a governing body, and he has people under him. Yes, he draws a salary from the committee, but he's the only one that does, and that is so he could go throughout the United States and try to get this flag flown.
I commend Mr. Lutz for that. But you and I have had many conversations, well, not many conversations, but we've had several conversations revolving around this issue and also the name of your son's name on the wall. And I have to tell you, at no time have I ever received any information from you, your husband, Mr. Torpy, or anybody else as to tell me what this flag stands for, how it was conceived, and its purpose in life.
I read that to you at the meeting, sir, and I gave you the
Well, I'm
brochure.
sorry, all
You
I
don't
have,
remember, I apologize.
In all due respect, if you vetted this flag, you should have had that in front of you to share with the 7 members. That's
Sir,
a silly statement.
Sir, we did vet the flag.
And then you should have had that
Then
available,
why did I get a
right?
thank you and say you were gonna fly it?
Ma'am,
Right, that's the
because
problem.
by committee.
Well, that, I think that is a problem, and
That's a very big problem.
and I will try to
And
address.
the lack of communication from then till now.
Okay.
It's,
Well,
well,
like I
if you
said-
vetted the flag, he should have had opportunity to review all the information about that flag and about that website and about Mr. Lutz.
Sir, we did vet the flag itself, and this is why we're at the decision we're at now. We vetted it.
The flag code is for the American flag. It does not for the honor and
That's-
remember
you're
flag
exactly
or
right.
any other flag. So you can throw the flag code away.
We can't do that,
To the
ma'am.
extent that it impacts the American flag, we can't. But I would like to wrap this up, but before we do, okay, go ahead.
I just have 2 things I want to question. You're the Bordentown Veterans Committee. Do you just take care of the memorial affair, or are you involved with the other memorial things in the city?
As far as I know, we're only involved with the one memorial on Farnsworth Avenue.
So that's all you're involved with? You don't, anything else that happens in the city with veterans, you're not a part of that?
There is.
Can you be more specific? I don't know, that's pretty broad.
Well, maybe you can help push the mayor along a little bit. The fact that John has been trying to get the Bordentown Beach American flag lit at night, the fact that the Bordentown, our flag is unlit out there for
The
the
water
last 4 or
tower?
5 years.
Yeah.
How
If
about
you are
the-
the veterans, I know John's put a lot of work into
Yes.
it, he's tried.
how about the one outside here? It's been out for 2 months.
I did not notice that, John. But the fact is, maybe you as a
Against the
committee
code.
could get involved and push that a little bit.
I think that's a good idea, I like
Because
that.
Joe's dragging his feet since last
I think
May.
that's an excellent suggestion. I will see to it that we do that. Thank you.
Just
What-
understand that this is a Bordentown Veterans Memorial Committee,
Yes.
okay? To the extent that John Werman, who is a member of this committee, has approached the city and the township about fixing those flags, yes, we've done that.
It's a city flag.
To
It's not
the,
town.
okay, well, he's talked to those guys too, but to the extent that he's climbed up a ladder and changed a light bulb himself, no. I mean, our scope is that Bordentown Veterans Memorial. That's what we're dedicated to. Now, we make suggestions, he's made plenty, you've alluded to that yourself, and he's made the
Well,
suggestions.
maybe if the committee made a suggestion, that would help. The other thing I'm concerned about, I went down and got the Oprah request for the last 3 years for you guys. You had 11 meetings in the year 11. You had 1 meeting in 12, 1 meeting in 13. There's no records of you guys having meetings other than what I've just alluded to. Now, you said you had 1 in November. Evidently, the city does not have the reports for that, or I'm not getting them.
I don't know what they're doing with it, Jeff, but every time, I'm usually the gentleman that fills out the agenda with Bruce's consent, and the letter notifying them that we are going to meet, and a copy of the proposed agenda has always been given to the city.
No,
Now,
I'm saying the minutes of your meeting are not there. You only have 1 meeting in 2012, only 1 meeting in 2013?
I know.
Yeah, there's something
We
wrong.
didn't
They-
submit
Jeff,
the
they've
minutes
been,
yet.
they've been submitted.
The,
Yeah.
the minutes are right here, we just approved them tonight from November.
Well, they didn't have that one.
No,
So
we
they
just
wouldn't-
We
approved
just
them
approved
tonight.
them, so we don't have to submit.
They'll be
them.
submitted.
So the last meeting you had was back in April of 2013,
Mm-hmm.
according to the city.
Yeah, April and November.
No, we met, well, the
You met in
June,
June,
we had the
did
Oh,
June. meeting.
June.
Okay. The
Jeff-
financials were up to date. They had all that up to date.
Well,
They
if,
didn't have
if
your
the
meeting.
financials are up to date, why would we keep them up to date on that but not on the meeting? The
I'm just
point
saying-
is that we're doing our due diligence on recording.
Well, there's been
the
many a
minutes.
time I've asked the mayor personally, when do you meet? And I couldn't get an answer.
We
Well,
don't.
They
right
wouldn't
now.
give us an answer. You're saying, well, come to the meeting.
Tell you what, here's a brochure, it's got contact information on it, take it, fill it out, you can get a paper, and, we'll let you know. Like it's,
Well,
We're
now that you're-
here.
Now that you're announcing them, they'll be on the calendar.
Sir,
It
we've
should
always
be on
let
the
the city
calendar.
know when we were having meetings. What the city did with that information is, we tell them. We tell them.
Reference was made, if it's all right, I'm gonna, do we have a motion to close the meeting? I have to go, I've got.
I just have to say one thing, I'm a member of this audience, and I support you 100%, and I always will.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
I move the meeting be closed. Adjourned.
Second,
Wait, second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Before you go though, there was a mention that there's gonna be stuff on Facebook, I think, or on